I came on here to learn more about how other families are dealing with, things that come up, compensation plans, things like that for with their kids, how they handle these different types of things, how they handle it when they disagree on different types of things that go on. And I'm here basically just listening to see what other folks are going through. And Nick is my son as well, and Kimberly's on here as well. She's my wife. So I think we're kind of listening in to see how other folks are handling these types of issues.
Yeah.
All right. If you Google anything around family constitution, or if you go on our website, which is compasspt.com, you'll learn all of what you're talking about is family governance. And it's a big deal. And the more you can get that done before an issue becomes an issue, right? I'm sure as all of you are probably sitting there going, yeah, we're right in the middle of that, the better. So you decide on, okay, so do you get in because of your last name, or do you actually have to be competent? Who do you report to? Are we going to report to other, within my family, or do I have to report to somebody outside of my family? So there's a lot of things you can do with governance that will solve a lot of that, Frank. And kind of need somebody to help you walk through all of that. I would say the first place to start is a constitution. So if you family business constitution, look that up. You'll kind of get some outline of it. If you don't find anything, certainly reach back to me and can help you start finding some guidelines on that.
Yeah, a lot of times I would say people wing it. I got my kid, me and my father. When I came in, there was no constitution. Dad had been a financial advisor in the classical sense, started with a big insurance company and found his way into working with family-owned businesses. And we did not have a way of making decisions together. It was him and his partner, and Michael, you fit in wherever you fit in. And it got to a point for us that it was just easier for me to, we stayed in the same office, but I started my own company. It was just different. We made that decision together based on the fact that Dad was inflexible. Dad wanted to do it his way only, and there wasn't a conversation. And that, the only way I was going to survive in that was do it my way. To me, what we're talking about right now in family governance and how we make decisions together and having those conversations with families was so important to my father. He just wanted to, get more assets under management. Let's just, we do great estate planning work. We do all this, wonderful technical work, but Michael, the emotional stuff and family business decisions, we don't have to do that stuff. And I had just a little different way of looking at it. I think it's all encompassing. I think it's all of these pieces are important, and it's especially in some of the smaller areas like Tom, where you're from in upstate New York. I don't think you have, the professionals that understand what governance is all about in every one of those communities. And so, if you think about it, every other business that's out there, they have a way of making decisions. They have an HR department that was set up at one point or another, and they had to decide how they were going to make all these decisions, how we're going to hire people, what are we going to do? They created an executive leadership team. And that's really for us as family-owned businesses to start to say, how do we professionalize our business? And the more work we do around that today, the better we'll be. Today, I don't have one of my kids in the business. They're all in their 20s. We'll see what happens, but Kay is my next gen, and we do fight like a father and daughter most of the time. And we're learning to, put these pieces together. Yeah, she will agree. And for us, like some of the things that we did, and Tom, I know that you believe in this stuff, is doing, a disc profile and doing some, learning about each other's styles and, how do you communicate? How do you need to be talked about? How do you need to be valued? it means something. And they're difficult conversations, especially as, you know, father, son, mom and son. It's, you know, Frank and Kim, you guys, you know, you do this together for a long time before Nick came along, I'm sure. And so it's like, you know, you guys share the same values in many, many areas, and if no ways to work those things out. So now how do you bring Nick into this to say, you know, where do we go from here?
Yeah, I will say one of the most helpful things for our team has been to go through different, like multiple and different personality profile assessments. And I think that that's especially helpful for families as well. So most of our clients, we've had them go through that exact exercise just to understand, you know, here's why I think the way that I do. And here's why I act the way that I do within the company. It's super helpful.